The United Nations is calling on world leaders and businesses to join forces in the fight against the novel coronavirus. It's urging everyone to work together quickly and come up with the tools needed to detect, treat and prevent COVID-19. Today's global call to action brings together health organisations, governments, philanthropists and companies. The goal is to accelerate research on COVID-19 tests, medicines and vaccines and to make them accessible to all. As the UN Secretary-General insists, no one should be left behind.
For too long, we have undervalued and underinvested in global public goods, a clean environment, cybersecurity, peace, and the list goes on. So let this be one vital lesson of this pandemic, the need for new urgency in support of global public goods and universal health coverage. We are in the fight of our lives, we are in it together, and we will come out of it stronger together.
Let's go over to Brussels, where we speak to our correspondent, Jack Parrock. Jack, we saw the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on that joint video call with the heads of the WHO and the UN. What exactly is the EU's role in this?
Well, the European Union and what Ursula von der Leyen announced is that they are going to host on May the 4th this conference to try and raise funds. They want to raise 7.5 billion euros across the board to try and enhance the global fight to find a vaccine to the COVID-19 virus. Now, the reason that the EU is taking a lead on this is because it's quite good at doing these things. After different disasters, the EU often steps in to do these funding conferences. For instance, we saw it with the Albanian earthquake relief fund that they stepped in and did a conference of this nature. Because they have good access, good links with lots and lots of different players around the world, both business and government, they work in this way, and they're trying to get this to become a global response. Interestingly and significantly, who wasn't involved is the US government. US President Donald Trump said a few weeks ago that he will not fund the WHO. He felt that the World Health Organization hadn't spotted this crisis quick enough and hadn't given the US enough information. So instead of him, the replacement for a sort of American representative was the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who also spoke on the call. But really now what this throws towards, as I said, is to this May the 4th funding conference.
Jack, it's been a busy week in Brussels, to say the least. It was only on Thursday that the EU leaders had held that call, agreeing to a €500 billion recovery fund. There's also the longer-term recovery fund, which remains up in the air somewhat. How has the events of the past 24 hours gone down with European leaders?
Well, I think it started to settle things a little bit. There's been some sort of structure to how the fund is going to work. We've seen in Italy, the Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte welcoming this fund. He said that this €1 trillion+ potential fund that's going to be anchored in the EU budget is something that they can accept. And he was one that was really calling for debt to be taken on at an EU level.
Jack Parrock joining us there from Brussels. Thank you very much.